Hello and happy Tuesday to my Flow with the Grow fam bam. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Sophia, also known as Sophie, Soph, and this is a podcast for health, wellness, personal development, personal growth, as the name Flow with the Grow. So I'm trying to help you and encourage you and empower you to flow with life, to flow with the growth of life, to flow with the challenges in life and in day to day and week to week, like whatever that is. In today's episode, there are two things that I want to share with you that I think can help you in your journey, whether it is life in general, maybe it's within health and fitness, maybe it is relationships, career, like just really whatever. Two things I think can help you with that. And then also something that no one really talks about in the health and fitness space. Something that you may have heard before, maybe I've talked about it on the podcast before, but I think it's a really powerful tool that I just want to put back into your mind or just kind of plant that seed. Both of these things, I just want to plant the seed. One of them is kind of a food for thought that you can think about as you go about your days and in pursuit of whatever goal it is that you have, but then also plant the seed for an activity that you can do. And maybe not an activity, but a practice, an action, like something, again, that is just in your toolbox that you can use to help you grow within yourself and also within, more specifically, what I'm going to be talking about today, within your health and fitness goals. First one, if you're someone who has a lot of negative thoughts around, it could be just life in general. It could be around your body. So you have a lot of negative thoughts towards your body and that negative self-talk around your body kind of degrading your body in some way, or maybe you're picking yourself apart. Maybe you're picking apart different parts of your body that you don't like, that you hate, and you're just really focusing on that. Maybe it's a belief that you can't do something. Maybe it's a belief that is doubting yourself. You have those self-doubting thoughts. Maybe it is around quitting something that you set out to do. Like anything where you're kind of self-sabotaging yourself. I want you to ask yourself this question. And if you want to take it a step further, I want you to write down this question. It can be on a piece of paper, a sticky note, put it somewhere where you're going to see every day, put it in your like phone notes as maybe a reminder and make it pop up every now and then so that you can just kind of be reminded of this. But ask yourself the question, if I let this thought be true, will it help me reach my goals? If I were to ask you this as a friend, as your coach, as a family member, as a loved one, if I were to ask you, okay, you're telling me that you have this negative thought about your body, or you can't do something, or you feel like, what's the use? Like you're setting out these goals within your health and fitness. Maybe it's a weight loss goal. And you feel like, what's the use? You're just wanting to quit. So I ask you, if you let this thought, or if you let these thoughts be true, is it going to help you reach your goals? No, like obviously not. If you have a negative thought, you're self-doubting yourself, like obviously that is not going to help you reach your goals. So you're going to be like, well, duh, no, it's not. So then one of two things can happen here. You can either continue those negative thoughts, you can do nothing and let those thoughts continue, or you can decide to change that thought. And it's almost like a moment of like, oh yeah, duh, like, no, that's not going to help me. But by you focusing on that negative thought over and over and over again, you're going to be getting more and more of that. You're letting the thought be true by telling it to yourself constantly. So we need to reprogram your brain. We need to reprogram your thoughts, your thought pattern, and be intentional with choosing a positive thought. I feel like I talk about this a lot. I feel like I've talked about it a lot recently, but these are the things that really hold people back. These are the things within our mind. It's mindset that if we don't address that negative mindset, or if we don't address trying to improve the mindset, then no matter what your goal is, either it's going to take you longer to get there, or you're going to quit on yourself and you're not going to get there. So once you ask yourself that, if I let this thought be true, will it help me reach my goals? No, it's not going to help me reach my goals. Okay, what's my next step? Well, number one, it's a reminder to remind myself that this thought isn't doing anything. It's not serving me. It's not going to help me. It's not going to propel me forward into the direction that I want. So what kind of thought will? So I really want you to ask yourself, what kind of thought is going to help you push you into the direction where you want to go? Maybe you think about, maybe that's your cue to think about how far you've come. Maybe you think about a win that you had in that day or the past week. Maybe you think about a specific positive affirmation or a quote that you just say to yourself over and over again. I want you to quit self-sabotaging yourself and start equipping yourself mentally with the things that are going to help you reach your goals. And it's little things like this that you can do, that you can work on, that you can practice, that's going to also kind of have this trickle effect into other areas of your life and maybe into other goals in life that you have. And I think you can also replace any of these words. Okay, if I let this thought be true about blank, whatever it is, will it help me in pursuit of blank, whatever that is? Okay, second thing. This is something, like I said, that I feel like no one really talks about, but it's such a powerful tool. And I think maybe it's because, again, it comes from the mind. It's more of like a mental practice here, and an action step that involves the mindset. And it takes practice and it takes time, but that is to use the power of mental imagery or visualization to help you get what you want in life, to help you reach your goals. Now, I'm not saying that, so I'm going to link a episode that I did with a guest and we talked about manifestation, but she explains it so well that I think makes sense and doesn't make it seem like too woo-woo or like too good to be true, because she kind of backs it with science. So, okay, I'm going to think about something that I want in life. So maybe it's like my dream home, but I'm not expecting bam, I'm going to get it. You have to from that point, you have to still do the work in order for me to get there, or in order for you to get to whatever that thing is. I think it's so easy for us to kind of get caught up in and visualize where we are not, where we are now, and the things that we want changed. But we don't really ever take the time to visualize how it's going to feel when we reach X goal, or goals, plural. I used to do this with people at the gym that I used to work at. I used to have people first visualize the path that if they continue the goals that if they continue down the path of choices that they're currently making, what's going to happen? And sometimes it'd be really emotional for that person. It's the path that they don't want. They don't want to feel that certain way. But then I would have them visualize what it would look like when they woke up, they looked at themselves in the mirror, they went about their day, and they not only hit the goals that they had, but I really had them visualize and describe how it would feel. Not just I have more energy, but what would you do with more energy? What are the things that you want to do in life that you're not doing now, but you really want to do? So taking some time to just visualize that path, how it feels, what it's like, who it's affecting, is it affecting your kids in a positive or a negative way, or your significant other, or friends, relationships, your confidence, your strength, visualizing your physical body, but also visualizing the internal. So then if you visualize both paths, where you don't want to go and then where you do want to go, I would say after you do one of each, focus on the path where you do want to go. And every now and then, visualize that. Really sit down and visualize and think about what that looks like, how it feels. So that's the long term. You can also do this in the short term. Maybe it's in a month or 2 months. What do you want? How do you want to feel in a month or two? What choices and habits do you want changed? What choices and habits, new habits have you made? How does your day look? What new things are you doing? What habits do you want to take away and are no longer in your day to day? It's kind of funny me talking about this, because when I was in high school, I played basketball, and my dad would actually have us tell us to visualize, for example, when we shot a free throw, visualize the free throw, how it feels, how my form, how it feels, visualize it going into the net. And I remember the time being like confused kind of like, why would I do that? What's the use in that and whatever. And I mean, I would do it, but not to the extent that maybe I should have because of the fact that I just didn't really realize the value of it or like the impact it could make. And also now like the scientific evidence that goes along with it. And then it's funny because I've listened to like books and podcasts and things that talk about it. And like from then to now, it's just come up a lot. And especially in those who kind of my mentors from afar, like the people that you follow, whether it's social media or you listen to them on YouTube or you read the books, like whatever, the people that you look up to that are very successful, like most of the people that I have followed, they do those things. They visualize. So you can do this as like an overarching thing, like you wanting to get to a certain point within your journey, like your goals that you have. But you can also do it, like break it down, not only into the long-term and short-term goals, but also when you go for a workout, how do you want that workout to go? How do you want to feel? Maybe you're going to the gym for the first time. How do you want that to feel? Like visualize yourself going in there, even though you might have a little bit of anxiety and fear, like visualize yourself going in, being confident, where you're going to go, what you're going to do. You can do this with nutrition and with food prepping. Like maybe you visualize like how that process looks for you. So then you can really break it down into in the day or in specific action or tasks. Like you can really break it down in however you want. But just, again, to plant this seed and encourage you to give it a try. And maybe not just once, because I think that there can be power even when you do it just one time. But also I think with anything, consistency is where you're going to really reap the reward of doing this. And I'm not saying that has to be this half hour to an hour long visualization session. It could be just a minute or two. Like it doesn't even have to be that long. It could be in writing. I remember I used to write out. I used to visualize it in my head and then also write it out. But this is just one kind of tactic thing in your toolbox that you can do, that you can try, that you can experiment with to help you in whatever it is that you're working towards in your journey. So as a recap, number 1, food for thought. When you have a negative thought about something, ask yourself, if I let this thought be true, will it help me reach my goals? And number 2, an exercise to try, something that no one is talking about to help you in your health and fitness journey or whatever goal it is, like whatever you want to try this with, mental imagery or visualization of that goal, that thing, that habit, that like in your day. So I hope this gave you some insight into something a little bit different, a little bit new that you can try to hopefully propel you forward in your health and fitness journey and in your journey as a whole within your life. Last 2 things, I want to invite you to my Food Freedom and Muscle Building Solutions Facebook group. It is a private community where I'm helping people and encouraging people to improve your relationship with food, dispel fitness and nutrition myths, just a place where you can share anything health and fitness, ask questions. So if that is something that you are interested in, you want to join, find me on social media, message me, or you can also go to the show notes and there will be a link in the notes there for you to click on. And lastly, if you're listening to this and this has impacted you in some way, you've resonated with this episode or a different episode, please take a minute or 2 to leave a 5-star rating and review. It really helps the show grow. And then also for other people to look and see what this is all about, how it's helped other people, and just to spread the word more. As always, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. It always means the world to me when someone messages me saying that they've been listening and because of listening to these episodes, they relate and it has impacted them in some way. My love language is words of affirmation, so it just fills my heart, fills my soul. So again, thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, week, weekend. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Flow with the Grow. I'll see you next week for your daily dose of positivity and growth.